You are watching SportsCenter with Elle Duncan and Hannah Storm. We're going to get to Blazers the Broken in a minute.
Well done.
Yeah, they're looking to avoid the sleep, but we're going to keep it out Westeros to start the show.
Oh, I love it. All right, so Game of Thrones is over, sadly, but the fight for the NBA throne is still up for grabs. And as for the Lakers throne, well, as the saying goes, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Magic Johnson, some frank details of what went wrong this morning in LA, a First Take exclusive, and here's what Magic had to say. Among his revelations, General Manager Rob Pelinka spread the notion that he was not in the office enough. He also said he had to monitor the Bus brothers and that he wanted Luke Walton to be replaced, but met with resistance and then the addition of COO Tim Harris in the process. Here is a portion of the conversation with Magic.
The straw that broke the camel's back was I wanted to fire Luke Walton. And we had max 3 meetings. I showed her the things he did well and the things he didn't do well. And I said, listen, we got to get a better coach. I like him. He's great. Former Laker, the whole thing. So the first day, well, let's think about it. Second day, okay, you can fire him. Then the next day, no, we should try to work it out. So when we went back and forth like that, and then she brought Tim Harris into the meeting, you know, some of the guys, and Tim, you know, wanted to keep him because he was friends with Luke. And Luke's a great guy, great guy.
He is.
And so when I looked up and said, wait a minute, I only really answer to Jeannie Buss. Now I got Tim involved. And I said, it's time for me to go. And then I start hearing, you know, Magic, you're not working hard enough. Magic's not in the office. So people around the Laker office was telling me, Rob was saying things. And
Rob Pelinka.
And I didn't like those things being said behind my back, that I wasn't in the office enough and so on and on. What happened was I wasn't having fun coming to work anymore. Especially when I got to work beside you, knowing that you want my position. And I'm okay with that. Because this is what happened, Stephen A. I told him in year 2, I'm only going to be here 3 years. So my job is, Rob, to get you ready for this position. But right now, everybody has a voice. And it's too much. That's why sometimes we don't make the right decision, right? So I'm hoping that with me leaving, that they can get it right, because I'm supporting them. I love them, love all of them, right? But I'm here on this show to say, listen, this is what we have to do.
So Adrian Wojnarowski is with us as we try to, you know, pull apart everything that was said, and that was just a portion of a very long conversation. He identifies Rob Pelinka, the GM, a guy that he didn't hire, didn't know, as quote-unquote backstabbing him, among other things. Just an epic takedown of the front office. From what you know, what was true and what wasn't that was said today? How accurate was that portrayal?
Well, what was confusing to me was Magic said that Rob Pelinka backstabbed him because he told people that he wasn't in the office. And then Magic admitted, I wasn't in the office. And everybody knew Magic wasn't in the office. He wasn't putting the time in. And it wasn't like he was on the road scouting and, you know, at college games, or he was running, whatever it was. He has his businesses and vacationing and all those things. So, listen, I talked to Rob Pelinka. I talked to a lot of GMs in the league regularly. I never heard a disparaging remark about Magic Johnson. I didn't, but that doesn't mean it wasn't said to somebody else. But if the criticism is that, and I would understand if people around the office are going, I have a question, or we need to have a meeting, or we need to discuss something. Where's Magic? And if the answer is he's not here, he's gone, maybe Magic construes that as backstabbing, but Magic himself admitted he wasn't in there doing the job.
It's really a tangled web when you have a Pelinka, who was Kobe Bryant's agent, then he's hired almost simultaneously with Magic taking the job, but not in conjunction with Magic. So right there, the setup for maybe 2 people with a lot of power not being on the same page. So you got, you know, Kobe's camp, you got Magic here, you've got LeBron James, for goodness sake, and Jeannie Buss in the middle of it all. How does that work, and what are we looking at going forward?
Hannah, and that's what it gets back to. This gets back to ownership and putting a structure in place that, just by how you described, how it was put together, a president and a GM, neither of whom had done their jobs before elsewhere, that it was set up to probably not go well. And the fact that they did get LeBron James in free agency covered up a lot of that. But maybe LeBron was going to come regardless. I don't know that they recruited him there, but you have to give him credit. He came under their watch. But look at the good organizations in the league and the leadership they have on top, from ownership to a president to a GM to the people in place. Look across at Staples Center with the Clippers and the kind of management group they have together there. It is hard to compete with that. And saying we're the Lakers and we're the league's most historic franchise, that's not enough. That doesn't just get players there. It doesn't make things run well. And the Lakers have a problem. It begins with ownership by allowing this dynamic to unravel the way it did.
Magic Johnson has been a beloved figure for many reasons, very successful businessman, and was coming under criticism for the way things went down, particularly after what happened with Anthony Davis. So he was hearing negative things said about him for really the first time, putting him in an uncomfortable situation. He said he still loves the Lakers, wants to go to the games, and then he said something really interesting: I would buy the team. How much of that entire conversation today was about him potentially making a play in the court of public opinion?
Hannah, it felt to me in listening to it that was the priority there, was to get that out there into the public, that he would like to own the team. And he certainly didn't stop short when asked whether Jeannie Buss should consider selling the team. I mean, he didn't say absolutely not. She should hold on to it for years. That's not exactly how he answered it. But Magic Johnson, there will be a lot of people in line, whether that's it. He mentioned Kobe Bryant. LeBron James has talked about wanting to get involved in ownership at some point in the league. And these are all people who would be able to go out and get an ownership group together and get the kind of people it would take to go get a $4 or a $5 billion bid. And then you would head that bid, like people like Kobe, LeBron, Magic. They don't necessarily have to put a lot of their own money in. And this is another stratosphere. But we're not there. Jeannie Buss owns this team. It's with the Buss family, but I thought as much as anything, that's what Magic wanted to get out today.
I tell you what, and it was very interesting timing, because in just a couple hours, the team is going to introduce their new head coach, Frank Vogel. So talk about taking the wind out of those sails and him potentially facing some tough questions today. Maybe not a coincidence.
Yeah, it'll be, listen, Frank Vogel walks into a tough spot, but it's tough. Coaching the Lakers, it's tough running the Lakers. I mean, welcome to the real world.
Yeah, Adrian Wojnarowski with some real insight. Thank you so much. Much more on this story to come on SportsCenter.
Well, Magic was going all Daenerys Targaryen on the Lakers front office. We actually have a game significant to the throne tonight, Game 4 in the West. Andre Iguodala listed as questionable with that calf strain, MRI. Results came back negative yesterday. That's positive. And Dame Lillard says he is going to battle through that separated rib that he suffered in Game 2 and will play. As for Steph Curry, what injury, what dislocated finger? He's been great in this series, averaging over 36 points a game. Tonight, he can become the 6th player in NBA history to score 35 points in the first 4 games of his series. And with a win, Golden State will join the Red Auerbach Celtics dynasty of the 50s and 60s as the only teams to make 5 consecutive NBA Finals appearances.
Big opportunity for us to, obviously close out the series, get back to the finals, and take advantage of the little break and understand how difficult it's going to be to win a championship.
It's on us to make sure we come out with the right mindset and focus, that we know that it takes to close out a series, especially on the road.
You could be up 2-1 and you down 0-3. And you look at the numbers and it's a slim chance of you winning a series like that. Obviously, you never know when the first time it's going to happen. We could be the first team to do it. We're not ready to just go out there and say, we did our best, we had a great season. We got a lot to play for.
Here's the thing, the Warriors have a commanding 3-0 lead in this series, despite the fact they trailed for more than half the actual playing time. The third quarter's been the key, as it tends to be with the Warriors. They're outscoring the Trailblazers by a total of 31 points in games 2 and 3. As for Portland, they're just the 4th team in the last 20 years to blow a 15-point lead in back-to-back playoff games. Hannah, the Rockets did that last year, also against, ironically, the Warriors.
Yes, I'm well aware. Thank you. And, it's trying to keep pace with those Warriors as they streak through the Western Conference Finals, and that would be the Bucks. Giannis and company taking on the Raptors in Game 3, and boy, was this a good one. 7 seconds left. Chris Middleton getting the pass, drives baseline, has his first shot blocked, but got the ball back and made the bucket. Middleton, though, overall not a great night. Just 3 of 16 from the floor in 44 minutes. Nonetheless, we send it into overtime, tied at 103, and it's Kawhi. Shooting, missing. Oh, this one goes into double overtime, but Kawhi would certainly redeem himself. Less than a minute left in the double O team. Pascal Siakam driving at Giannis and drawing the foul. They really needed Siakam to play better, and he did. Tough call there, but Giannis's night is over. 12 points, 23 rebounds, and when he is guarded by Kawhi, he was just 1 for 9. And here goes Kawhi. And Kawhi playing with what appeared to be a leg injury. He did not talk about it afterwards. In fact, he said, "I'm good," but you can see him grimacing there. Raptors go up. Leonard on the steal, goes the other way and throws down another dunk. Just getting it done on both ends of the floor to put the Raptors up there. 112-109. Less than a minute remaining. Still a 2-point game. Siakam just a huge block on Brook Lopez. Leonard on the drive, the delay, a sick move. Comes up big, 36 points, so it's a 2-1 series. Raptors can even it up tomorrow night.
I mean, I've been here before. It's playoff basketball. You want to win. My teammates did a great job tonight of keep pushing. When you're out there, I'm not thinking I'm down 2-0 at the time. You got to be in the moment, live in the moment, and, you know, we just all wanted to lay it out on the floor tonight.
Does this feel like a brand new series for you guys now?
We're still down 2-1. We still got to play next game like it's our last. You know, make some adjustments and you know, get back at it on the next game.
So back to Kawhi Leonard. That was his 8th 30-point game in his last 10 playoff games. He joins Kobe, LeBron, and Amari as the only players to do that in the last 20 postseasons. He ended up playing 52 minutes, a career high and a Raptors franchise record. Still at his best down the stretch, scoring 8 points on 3 for 3 shooting in the second overtime, and all of it with an apparent injury. Holding Giannis to 1 for 9 shooting with guarding him. According to Second Spectrum, he was matched up with Giannis 41 times, over twice as often in games 1 and 2 combined.
Much more on the fallout from Magic Johnson's comments still ahead this morning. We're going to head live to the Lakers practice facility and hear a former head coach's reaction to what went down.